Hello and welcome everybody to another match in the EON League. I am accompanied by reappearance. I'm Necris, and I'll tell you one thing. I'm super excited because the first match is Besiktas. I really enjoy Besiktas. I have been watching Besiktas probably for the longest time I've ever watched a single R6 team, and that's saying something. Reappearance. What do you think is in store for us today?
Well, just it's gonna be some more Eon. I'm looking forward to the matches. We're in the middle of the groups, right inside of Div 1. We're still deciding who are some of the stronger teams, and Besiktas are certainly trying to put themselves up there. I actually watched them yesterday. Not in a league game. They were in the new Siege Cup. I saw some of the
Mm.
players over there. So they are definitely warm, They are not missing a day of
Oh.
their Siege warm-ups.
That's good to hear. Because you know what I think? I think they need it. If I may dare say so myself, I have this idea, If are up against Spirit Gaming today, but I am waiting for that Minis versus Besiktas, and these teams they have to face off. The top two, that's going to be a game to watch. But as for today, as for Spirit Gaming, what do you know about this other team that's facing off against Besiktas?
Oh, well, Spirit, definitely well-known org that's been around the Hungarian national system for quite a while. However, recently they have pivoted and they've instead decided to pick up the South Park Faro roster. This is a entirely Finnish roster. Don't mind Ches, just the manager from the Spirit org. Everyone else exclusively Finnish. This is a lot of names that you may or may not remember from the FEL, from
Mm-hmm.
FEL, from that national league over there. So Spirit just pivoting from one exclusive country to
Factor into any best or worsts in either of the teams, but it's a challenging map, but it's also very fun. The amount of entry points, just the horizontality of the whole map. It's not a vertical one, not that much at least. But I mean, you go into Geisha and just getting into that one place, that bomb plant, it's deceptive and you think it's easy, but it's really not. And what's funny is my predictions aren't visible, but I'll just say it. I'll say it for the viewers.
as
I
long as it's
predict.
before the game, it counts.
Exactly. So I'm gonna predict before every game. So I'm not going to talk about the rest of the three, but
All right.
right now
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk about
We'll do it
Besiktas
one at a
and
time.
Spirit. All right. Yeah, no surprise. I'm going to go with Besiktas. But I'll tell you what, with utmost certainty, I am not saying that Besiktas is going to completely wipe the floor with Spirit. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a long, grueling game, possibly a 7-5. What do you think?
I definitely think that Besiktas have the edge here. They're, I think, just the more established team. They're currently chasing behind No Minis, which is a difficult task because, let's be real, trying to catch up to No Minis after them only dropping 4 rounds so far, you're not going to catch up to that round diff. And Besiktas, because they've gone to overtime already, they're 1 point behind. So they need to try and match it up here, which means they not only need a good win here to continue that chase to stay ahead on the leaderboards, but they also need to get a good scoreline, get that round diff up, get a +5, a +6, make this a swift victory.
A swift victory. Easier said than done, but then again, some things are done as easily as they are said. Because when it comes to our sixth, the scales can tip very, very fast. Great ban, Dokaibi going out. I won't be surprised if a shield operator is banned. Again, a horizontal map is just heaven for a shield operator. But I think they have things up their sleeve if there is a shield operator pick. Because now they only have one available shield operator ban. The rest, yeah, so they're going to go with the Monty. Blitz is still in the game, and Blitz arguably is one of the best operators on Skyscraper. I don't know, I may be wrong about this, but I really feel it's super impactful.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, the shield's very, very strong. I have been a Monty player since year one, so I can't really gauge how a lot of other people feel. But I think that the new changes that they've added to the shields, it's a little too powerful in a lot of aspects because the melee priority, and a lot of people have been complaining about this, is just it's so strong. You have nothing to defend yourself in a 1v1 unless you know what you're doing with utility, uh, or you can somehow bug out the game because shields still die to glitches. That is something that's been an issue since the beta. All right, but I'm not over here crying over a shield dying to a glitch at the moment
Reappearance,
because
you're
let's be
saying it
real,
all wrong. See, it's not a glitch, it's a feature.
it's a feature.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing. It's just a small point. You can go on, but I just want to correct you there because Ubisoft, in its wisdom, has given us a perfect game reappearance. There's nothing wrong with this game, right? Absolutely nothing. Nothing is broken. Everything is balanced. So it's a feature. That's right.
Are the people spinning in my rank games also a feature?
Oh yeah, you didn't know about it. It's called rage-inducing stress buster. It's something to really show you how mortality works and how insignificant you are in your life, you know? So, yeah,
Siege is
basically
the
someone's
Socrates of online competitive shooters.
absolutely. You call it a plucked chicken, I call it a human being, you know? That's how it goes. And I believe that there needs to be a Diogenes to every ancient philosopher required. And that's why I'm going to say the shield operator is the Diogenes to the Socrates of Ubisoft. There you go.
Incredible. All
Yeah,
right.
they live in the gutter. So, yeah.
Stepping away from the philosophy lesson for a tiny little bit to get ourselves at least somewhat on track for this round. We've got Besiktas, of course, starting on the defensive side. I mean, I say of course, but they did get to pick this map, I do believe. No, never mind. Ignore me. It was Spirit who picked this map, so Besiktas chose the starting side, so nothing out of the ordinary here. So it will be Spirit on the attack first. They did choose to go to this map over Consulate. The question is, how much can they do here? And immediately we've got a jump out. Gutter tries to go for a kill onto Vippe. He does get the injure, but he gets traded immediately. Another trade happens as Denati trades 1-for-1 with Skir. And very early on, we've got some aggression coming out of Besiktas. They're not playing passive. They're already here for the fight.
And I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. This is the way you need to play defense on Skyscraper. You don't wait inside and wait for the walls to get peppered and you die alone in a room. You have to go out and make something happen, and that's what they're doing. The shield, it's not going to save South Park because right now Salim Karem, he is going to pick up one more for his team, and that's going to equal things out more or less because the Osa, he is 20 health. So there are a lot of things that could go very, very wrong for Spirit Gaming very, very soon because they're running out of time. Soon enough, they'll have to move. They have a Grim, they have an Ace. The moves, however, that they have to make may not be conducive to the operator lineup that they have available because there's a smoke, there's a bandit, and there's a legion. There's too much disruption for you to just walk into the site instead of actually killing people. And Bodorf, he picks up another. There goes your Grim. So there's no room clear. There's no distancing that you can possibly do. The Grim is gone. Now you're left with one breacher and a half dead Osa who's going to be all alone now, 3 versus 1, and that's going to be an easy cleanup for Salim Grim.
All right, Salim. I've heard from certain sources that Salim does not do warm-ups, but I guess he doesn't need to. In the very first round, he gets himself a beautiful set of shotgun kills, and that is the first round for Besiktas. Now, once again, we're on Skyscraper. This is kind of to be expected. They did get to pick their favorite side. They wanted to start on the defense. Like, we should expect Besiktas to rack up at least a few rounds, but the question is, when does Spirit activate? When do they start reading into these rounds? And do they start reading into these rounds? Because what they did on attack here, I like the attempt. It doesn't work, so now you gotta try something else.
And try what though? Because at this point, I'm thinking, if you are indeed, you're thinking, oh, so there's a nook. Great. I already know that Spirit Gaming is possibly thinking in the right direction. They're going to distract us, something here and there, probably get a couple of pickoffs, hope that the Lion gets enough initiation that this team makes it into the site. This could go well. But at the same time, you have a Warden, you have an Azami, and you have a Legion. So all these guys are just going to be camping outside of the entrances, right around these stairs here on 2F. And it's going to be very, very difficult for you to go in. And they're going to switch everything up. The Grim is going to go past into South Park. And now the Demos has been picked up by Melee. What do you think about this switch up?
Alright, well, the Demos comes out. I don't see a shotgun quite yet. Choosing to stick with the AK at least for now. And I'm still not seeing a blitz, you know, we are currently in a meta that would favor that. The Monty's been banned out for a reason. I could definitely see a blitz coming through, but so far I think Spirit just not really having a grand idea on how to use him. Because if you're gonna bring the blitz, you gotta get some value out of him, right? So instead, Spirit choosing to bring 5 guns, choosing to bring the Demos to try and see if they can, I would assume they go for a roam hunt here, see if they can clear anyone else out. Problem at the moment is I don't know how aggressive Besiktas are on this roam. I think they're just going to be in positions where they're going to try and fall back.
And it looks like they're taking their time, Spirit Gaming, but at the same time, you have to know that you have to clear this place up. You have to get some pickups. Otherwise, you're never really moving into the site. And Besiktas this time not really running out. Although I saw something very curious, the Tubarao has been banned, so which is why they're using Azami like a Tubarao and plugging up small breaches into the floor. So it's pretty good actually to use it that way. But oh, that's a shot and it's a half there, and that's going to be a grenade finishing off Denati. But everything else, I mean, my God, that was a clear window into that room, and my God, that worked. Azami just goes down and everyone's boosted. They're running in. One more shot attempted, but okay, Shoxel, he gets flanked. Vipe, he finds Shoxel. His friend is following it up. Salim Krem though, he gets 1, he gets 2, and Bodor finishes that with 1 C4. 3 versus 2, they've equalized it. In fact, brought it into their advantage back again. They're pinged by the Lion. And I'm suddenly thinking reappearance. Is this going to be enough? And looks like it is. Gataro gets 1 more, and there's 1 more left for Spirit, and it's going to be Vipe. He got 1 kill. Could he get another and another and another and finish this round up? Highly unlikely, but I want to see him try. He has entered T room and he's going to be looking through it, but there's going to be more angles to be careful of because there's this waiting around the corner. He peeks it. The shots are coming off. They know he's there. There's no doubt here. He's just going to have to make a risk play. Probably getting something here. The angles. Are they here? Okay, this is insanely lucky for Vipe. He has made his way into Dragon. And now soon on the other side of Dragon, he's probably going to move into the small hole, hoping for a pickup, but he chooses to run in, but that's not going to be enough. Bodolf picks it up. And that's it. That's one more round for Besiktas.
Just as quickly as the advantage was won, it was gone. A double kill from the one and only Selim, immediately a C4 to follow up, and just like that, the man advantage turns the other way. Besiktas, from being 2 men down, suddenly being 1 man up. It is that quick. Lightning fast round, Besiktas is able to retake all of the space that they lost, completely shut down any sort of pacing that Spirit had, and completely close down this round. Now, Spirit can look at this and they can say, our roam clear was impeccable. All we had to do was slow down a bit and make sure we trade our way through into Selim. Don't give him 2 individual, or, well, I mean, he definitely flicked, but make sure you don't allow him to get that second kill. You have to shut him down.
Absolutely.
And at the moment, Spirit not doing that. And, you know, the more these rounds go on, we've seen it before, Necros, with every round that passes, and Selim gets kills and does not die, right? He is 5-0. Bodolf is 3-0. Neither of these guys have died in the first 2 rounds. If this continues any longer, Besiktas are going to have so much confidence and so much momentum that they are going to be exceptionally unstoppable.
Absolutely agree with this. But I want to say something. This is defense. They've not gone into attack right now. And Besiktas, we know that, you know, they play very well in the start, but it seems like they either get a bit overconfident, they throw a bit, or attack especially becomes this kind of insurmountable height that they cannot chart for the life of them. And every single time that they have this dominating start, it seems like they're bound to go down with a very, very grueling game and sometimes even lose that grueling game. So I like that you talked about momentum and I agree with it, but I really wish that Besiktas can transition into the attack phase a bit more comfortably than we have seen them in the past.
All right, with that, Shoxel just shoots a drone. Another big roam out toward this side of the map. Besiktas choosing to go back to the primary. Correct me if I'm wrong, Necros. But wouldn't site lock mean that they can't go back to this bomb site? Did they start out in kitchen? Did I miss that?
Yeah, you did, yeah. Wait, what's the problem again? I'm kind of confused.
The first round was a barbecue kitchen defense, right? I am so confused
Yes.
because they're back over on T side and they're playing this exactly the same way that they would play their kitchen site. And so far, I'm not seeing much different from Spirit, so I was just confused. I thought the site lock settings were wrong. That is on me. It's just the first round was gone so quickly. I didn't even catch what bomb site we were on. That is how quickly Besiktas is moving through this, because Selim and Bodolf combine for double the kills that all of Spirit has at the moment. And this time around, Spirit are trying to take this round a lot more slowly, and with some success, as South Park is able to find one. Irmeli with a second immediately puts us into a 5v3. Now the players of Besiktas have to try and rally round, and they have to see if they can get one back. Shoxel's at least able to find Vippa outside the window on Geisha. But with a minute to go, smoke canisters already being expended. Shoxel's the only one to reel this back in for Besiktas. He does so exceptionally well, and now despite the control on top black being gained by the side of Spirit and them breaching the wall, it's not really safe for them to plant yet. They still have to contend with this player inside a site. And Selim is not known for missing any of these shots if he's given the opportunity.
Oh, and he is so well positioned. Ameli, on the other hand, I really like what he's attempting. I mean, as a Demos, you have to be looking for anything and everything you can get. And they've gotten quite a lot. They've gotten Bodolf, they've gotten Gataro, and 3 versus 3. But we have seen Besiktas, as you said. This guy doesn't miss. Denati, he picks up 1. But we still have Salim Karem ready to go on that smoke. And he's looking, he's waiting. He could very well close this round up. And speaking of, Salim Karem just gets 1 more on Sky Monster. And I'm looking, Meli, another unsurmountable task, but Donati is right here to greet him. This time, the star of this match is Donati, for this round at least. But you know what I really like, reappearance? That there's no single star for every round. Every round there's a new person. It was Bodolf then it was Salim Karem, and now we have Donati. Beautiful. I really like the everybody sharing the load kind of thing, you know? It's pretty heartening.
Yeah, everybody getting a chance. I think this also just kind of comes down to who gets to the opponent first, because at the moment, despite the very early wins for Spirit, they're able to win gunfights, they're able to take map control, they get themselves into important positions, they take map control, and they like twice in a row now, they've opened with a 5v3, no trades coming back, at least immediately, and they get themselves into an advantageous position. And from there, Besiktas completely retake with a man disadvantage. They somehow tear through the entirety of Spirit, retake all of that space, and leave the remaining attackers completely stranded. And speak of the Devil Knickers, we've got a blitz.
Oh yes. Oh yes, 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 yes. They have to pull it out. I mean, I don't blame them at all. They're missing that oomph in their lineup. They just don't seem to make it past like the first stairs. Never ever. They barely make it into a corridor, either dragon or even any other stash. It's just, I have to say that they need some oomph, they need some punch power, and now with Blitz, they possibly have got it. They've gone with Finka, so that's like a great pairing with Blitz, We just run in with Finka, and Blitz is just clearing everything apart, and then there's Grim, who is just a nuisance, then Ash and Ace just clear the site up, open a path. And on paper, Spirit Gaming's lineup, it'll work, no matter what you really put in front of it, no matter if there's a Solace or a Smoke trying to impede you in your path. I don't think Spirit Gaming is really out of it, unless, again, they make the same mistake, is approaching a single one-sided corner, one after the other, and just feeding away kills. And missing drones is not also a very good look. Okay, I think they got it in the last attempt, but yeah, the grenade goes out. There's one person right around the corner. Okay, barely just runs away from the grenade, and he is going back to man that start. And whoa, one more grenade right behind him. It's gonna probably, yeah, it's not gonna even glaze him. Guttero, he finishes off Sky Monster and reappearance. This Blitz, he has been stopped for the moment, but this Smoke has to really spend a lot of utilities to keep him at bay, and really Blitz has not lost anything but a couple of bits of health, and frankly Blitz just has to do one kill or one or two, and he has done enough for his team to do something in this game.
Well, it took 2 smoke canisters, but South Park has taken a decent chunk of damage, and he was forced to rotate. He doesn't want to stick around and waste the remaining smoke canisters, because at the moment, while he is sitting there and wasting the utility, he's not contributing, so instead he moves himself around, goes over to wood, is able to find 1 kill for himself, but once again, here comes this tenacity from Besiktas. They're able to hold on, they're able to find the kills when necessary, and they're able to completely pincer all of these attackers, and once again, it's another round for Besiktas. They have yet to lose one, they have now decisively won the half, and they've still got 2 more opportunities to rack up even more rounds.
I mean, in 2 more opportunities, they're going to be, if they keep winning, they're going to be on game point. And one last round on attack. I mean, the way Besiktas is playing now, they've gone into exhibition, right? Now, this floor notoriously open horizontally, and you have, yeah, I'm happy that you're getting a buck. You're getting a Demos. Demos really works on this particular plant. But I don't know about the striker pick. I know that you need utility and everything, but I don't know. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong with your parents, but I really sorely think they need like an offside roamer. I'm gonna say it, but a nook. They need like someone to just distract that team, get some pick off, stop that one guy from just conducting the whole game.
Well, I definitely am not going to argue with the fact that, the Nook could be a good idea, but also got to give credit where credit's due. Spirit have already tried it. It didn't work for them in the particular round where they tried to bring out the Nook. And so far, Spirit is trying something different every single round. The problem is nothing at the moment is sticking so far, because Besiktas are just playing their basic, aggressive, retake-heavy game of, give up a little bit of space, lose 1 player, and then collapse onto the entire attack. And that's working really well, and Spirit at the moment have no counter, because to get kills, to get map control, they always have to extend, they always have to go deep. And Besiktas countered them at exactly that point. So Spirit at the moment lost, because if they go forward, they get punished, and if they don't go forward, they're gonna lose to the clock.
Yeah, it's pan in the fire kind of situation, but well, I have to do something. The Warden's getting peppered a bit. Bodolf, a bit too close for comfort, is gonna go down to 60 health. But they have a Thatcher, they have a Ying. This time it's kind of a very unorthodox entry. I like it. This is, I think, going to work for the most part. Probably unless they die to a C4, which would be quite tragic. But okay, drones. The information has been denied enough. They may have seen the Warden, but not really much more. So the rest of the team in Besiktas is still very well hidden. The information is still on the side of Besiktas. But I don't know. They have to make a hole in this defense that Besiktas seems to have. It's like, they conduct the game in every round. If they're attacking, they are attacking. They're not reacting. If they're defending, they're playing very defensively, turtling. It's not that Spirit Gaming is attacking into them. Besiktas is making them stop there. They are conducting the game so well.
Yeah, they're absolutely controlling the pace of the game, and that is very, very important. And if you can do that on defense, that's an impressive feat. Because if anything, the attack does dictate the pace. Because if they want to go fast, they can go fast. That is exactly up to the attack. But at the moment, Besiktas is just turning that concept on its head and just saying, Spirit, we don't care what you do. We're going to start trading. And once again, Vipa gets the opening kill. However, elsewhere, there is 2 kills, 3 kills that go back in favor of Besiktas. 3 different kills, 3 different places. And once again, an opening pick for Spirit. They're so good on these openers, but they can't convert anything after that. Immediately, Besiktas into a 4v2. And now with 45 seconds left, Farao is in the site, but he gets C4'd while in a goo mine. Salim picks up another. And this man is on fire as Besiktas move on to 5-0.
I mean, God, I have not seen Besiktas this dominant for so long. 5-0? Very rare, I have to say. But I really like it because, you know what? In all honesty, they really deserve it. The way they've been playing this game, absolutely flawless. They are, as you said, they give up 1 kill, but that gives them so much space in this whole thing. And everything that they want to do, it's possibly, well, it's almost as if they're reading Spirit's mind. Spirit seem to think that, okay, I got a pick off, but hey, in getting that pick off, you have let the rest of Besiktas kind of get the drop on you. And well, I think that ended the way it ended in the last round. They have to switch it up. There's one more round for game point, and this is not looking good. They have to whip out the big guns. If you have any, whip it out now because it's going to be high time after this.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you pointed it out well. It seems like Besiktas are somehow ahead of the curve of Spirit. It seems like they're 2 steps ahead, almost like a chess match. Spirit thinks they've got a free pawn to capture, and then suddenly they've lost a queen and a rook in a big trade game where they are just down so much of their, fighting capabilities. That's just what it comes down to. Besiktas is thinking a few more moves ahead, and they're making the strategic moves accordingly. And Spirit at the moment outmatched with that. Once again, trying a few different things. I do like that. They're not stubbornly doing the same thing and failing at that. There is different approaches coming into this. The problem is whatever they do, they get themselves into the map, they get a kill, and then the round folds completely because Besiktas just decide to wake up and retake everything.
Okay, I think I'm noticing like a pattern though. While you say they're changing it up, I really think they're doing the same thing stubbornly. See, they're changing up one operator, and I mean, the idea is different, right? And now they have a Brava. They were going with the Twitch earlier, so they want some gadget control. But earlier, they went with probably like site control, It was it's a different approach, but the core lineup of their whole draft seems the same. Like it's a Grim Ash Ace. No matter what you have, it's Grim Ash Ace. And I don't blame it. But it seems like the overall game plan is still get a pick off and try to move in. I think that needs to change essentially. That you need to have at least 2 people aggressively moving in, doing something while the rest of the team hangs back and doesn't feed away kills. Like, you're never gonna get drones pass of Besiktas. You've learned this. By 5 rounds, you have learned this. So, to get whatever information you can, it's gonna be important enough for just a few people to risk their lives and get the most out of it. Because if 3 people just walk in and die, this is just, I mean, unfortunate, I'll say. Gutaro to really peek outside, that's brave. But then again, these guys, they're not scared of anything. And right now, Spirit seems to be...
That is so good.
Absolutely. I mean, I love it. Please explain what happened there.
There was a claymore. It got mute jammed. Shoxel ran over, put down a mute jammer on the window so that the claymore was muted. It would not go off. Gutter goes for the jump out at the right time to catch a player going on to repel. And that is their hard breacher dead. Farao is dead. They have nothing to try and deal with that now. Of course, Denati does die in a trade. And once again, Spirit do get some good opening picks. They get a decent bit of map control. The question is, are they able to hold onto any of this? Because at the moment, Scare has lost a lot of HP once again. and they're trying to rotate around the map. They're trying to see where they can, peek and prod away at the bomb site, get themselves in a bit closer. But Shoxel's already taken down below once again. Besiktas is moving around the map. They are flowing like water, and they can't be caught by some of these Spirit players at the moment.
Damn, that Claymore play. It opened a lot of things up. I mean, Spirit Gaming, for a second, I thought they were just patient enough to make something happen, but no. It is heads-up play from Besiktas that stopped them in their tracks, and now they're running out of time. Spirit Gaming, they need to really do something right now. 40 seconds, they want a good peak, but they're so scared. It seems like, it's like a horror movie, except you're stuck in a time loop, and you just know that around this corner, I died like 3 times, so I'm so scared, because this is going to happen again. And every single time, you get scared and you lose that bit of pace. That's what happens. Bodolf, he gets one more on Vipe, and 4 versus 3. Slowly but surely, your numbers are going down. 4 versus 2. Your Osa goes down, and now there's a Brava and a Grim. I don't think there's any hope for this round left. This is surely going into the match point. 4 versus 1. Shoxel gets a double kill with a shotgun, and that is going to be another for Shoxel. Cleaned out.
That triple kill for Shoxel, including the mute jammer play, to give Gutter that kill on the jump out. I mean, this is a masterclass round from Shoxel, which, once again, that's another different player, Necros, you've been saying it's a different player every time. We were harping on about how good Salem is. Immediately in the first 2 rounds, Donati starts warming up. He hits some shots. Bodolf is just a consistent force, able to find C4s, able to find kills in the mid-round where it is most necessary to try and fight back for some of this map control. And now Shoxel's getting into the mix as well. We've got everyone on Besiktas firing, and they're up 6-0. They've got absolutely no opposition today.
Oh, yes. And look at this, the scoreline is so evenly distributed. It's almost like it's a perfect utopia. Everyone has a couple of kills to their name. No one feels bad. No one feels really great either. And you know who's feeling great? Yeah, definitely not Spirit Gaming, but they're feeling a bit confident. They've gotten the Boss G out on Vipe. So, I mean, big guns, right? So that's quite literally a big gun. So
big guns shoot big bullets that do big damage. That's the theory.
Absolutely. And yeah, he hates his own reflection. I get it, Farao. I too break mirrors in my house. But then again, breaking mirrors is not going to solve your current problem, my friend. You have to break a couple of heads. These guys are doing the same thing Spirit did. Literally the same draft. It's an ace, except for the Ash, it's a Buck, and there's an Osa, there's a Grim, and there's a Demos. Let's see if Besiktas do what Spirit Gaming could not.
Very curious to see how they attack this. Once again, you did point it out perfectly, Necros. It is a very similar lineup. It's just the kind of Skyscraper classic. You want an Osa for top black. You want a Buck because there's so many different places that can be soft, both in terms of horizontal play on all of these different walls, especially around T Karaoke site, and of course, a lot of that vertical. There's so many floors that you can try and play around in the mid-round if you get yourself into the right position. And you can see Donati, he's already in down below. He's looking for an opportunity to just play vertical onto some of these players. At the moment, he's still got his gun trained on the bottom floor. He's worried about a roamer potentially coming to contest him, and you can see Vipa is out there, and there we go. He does hit that Boss G shot, but immediately he's traded by Selim.
I mean, I'd like to say that he did his job, but right now they require so much more. It seems like, no matter what, they need to get in like a very, very substantial man advantage to probably achieve anything in this map. Because evening it out, especially against a team like Besiktas, who's been, successfully getting the better of you for every single round in this map, you need to get a complete one-up. At least a 4 versus 2 kind of advantage. Maybe 2 people go down, especially that Osa and that Demos. If they go down, this could really open up the whole game for Spirit. And, okay, as I say it, the Demos is not, but 2 people do go down. It's 2 versus 4, and this time Besiktas seems to be crumbling a bit. And Spirit, this is the opening you needed, right? There's a Demos, he's primed, he's waiting to track, and every single thing seems to be going the way of Spirit as of now. But if this Demos gets another unnecessary kill, he is going to throw a grenade out. Oh, nice peek. It's almost like using a flash. Oh, but he gets picked off by Armeli. Selim Karam, not that lucky. He will leave his friend Gataro alone on the stairs near restaurant. And, well, There's only one way to go from here. It's probably 6-1, and Spirit Gaming, for the time being at least, stays alive.
Well, Gotter's got 30 seconds to try and get some kills. He did try to tag somebody, but I think that also shield might have... Is that also shield still there? Something must have gotten in the way to try and block him from that kill, and immediately he gives away his position, is traded. And would you look at that? The first round for Spirit, it comes in round 7. It comes with their backs to the wall. They've got no more chances to try and drop any rounds. They have to be perfect on this half. But, hey, realistically, Besiktas were flawless in their half, so why not Spirit too? This could just be a very, very defender-sided skyscraper.
I mean, yes, defender sided skyscraper is not the first time I've heard defender sided skyscraper. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, skyscraper defense sided is not the first time I have heard reappearance, but what I have heard is it is hard to keep consistency. And Besiktas, I've talked about this. These guys do not transition into attack that well. And I mean, if anything, it's showing. Even after a dominant 6-0, they have managed to drop one more round. It could be skyscraper, as you said, but it could be Besiktas kind of, taking some time to adjust to it. They have all the time in the world. Frankly, this is their round to lose, to kind of get the marbles together, get like a good game plan, see what works. Because right now, Shoxel is pulling out that blitz, and we know what Shoxel blitz does. We've seen this guy in action so many times, and this guy is an absolute monster with it. And for the current plant, well, it seems like the right way to go. Let's see how they enter this place.
Right, Vipe preps a jump out. He might be jumping right into a blitz. And he does do so, jumps out, sees that shield, immediately hops back in, doesn't even try to shoot at it. He knows he can't contest this. He knows he can't do any damage. Well, he could have hit the feet of Shoxel, but instead chooses to go back in the building. That's some crucial information. Early on, you know that there's a blitz. At the very least, Besiktas can't hide it, if you want to put it that way, but that's definitely not what Vipe was looking for. He was definitely looking for a kill. And not being given that means that now we're playing this little wall minigame. And at the moment, it looks like Spirit is winning. 2 Sophia stuns have been used. A lot of bandit wires are being placed, picked up, and then placed again as the Thatcher EMPs come out. All 3 have been used, and the wall is still electrified. So it looks like that wall is staying closed until further notice.
And yeah, you have to play that game at some point of time. As a Sophia, that's your job. Spirit Gaming, they are wasting time, and that is the whole motive of this whole thing, and I like it. For the most part, I'll say, whatever's happening, Besiktas is not completely losing moment. They're not running in, okay? They're not hasty to finish this game, because that's what happens, reappearance. It so happens that when you are 6-0 and you're so close to victory, you feel like, okay, come on, guys, just finish it. Come on, let's go. Come on, go, 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 go. And you just go in and you end up dying and feeding everything away and just feed away all the advantage, everything and thing you had, the momentum, everything. So they're not doing that. And I like it. There are 2 people very low on Spirit Gaming. Besiktas, they've taken their time. 1 minute, 15 seconds on the clock. The blitz though. Oh my god, what a C4 by Sky Monster. The Nati and Shoxel both go down. And well, that changes things. Besiktas now completely rudderless without their Zofia and Blitz. There's only one Finca, Thatcher, and a Thermite. They have a Thermite, which, I mean, they're not completely dead in the water, but they really desperately need to finish off some kills here. Because if they do finish off this pesky Azami, they could do quite a lot.
Oh. That was a bit of a close one, but Pharaoh is able to swing out, get his first kill using the ETA 12S, and a team kill happens. Ermely accidentally shooting Southbark, and a big trade ensues. A lot of people die, most of them at the hands of Spirit, including one of their own, leaving only Salim alive. He's 11-1. He's been getting kills like crazy. The last round is the first time he has died in this entire matchup, and he gets himself a double in the round as he finds Pharaoh. He's got 2 more to find. If he can make this a 4K, he can push himself to a round victory. He's able to injure another. It's only down to Ermely. He's got 10 seconds to try and push onto the last player, onto the Azami. Does he check the corner? Yes, he does, but he's not ADS. It's Ermely to just about, in the 1v1, reclaim that position for Spirit, and a round almost given away at the hands of an insane performance from Selim. Spirit, once again, able to hold on, salvage one more round.
You can't beat the ADS speed of an SMG. And I mean, Salim, for all his game sense and his flick shooting, it wasn't enough. But really, he should not be put in that position to start with. The two kills on Shoxel, I mean, it was not supposed to happen, especially by a C4. I understand a blitz dying to it. You don't necessarily get to really do anything about it. But what about the other guy? Why did he die? Two kills to a C4? That's careless. And now, Spirit Gaming. 2 rounds now, okay? And this is the snail's pace that we feel is super reliable when it comes to, edging out an overtime. While they're not that close, they are getting there.
Yeah, and I think the time isn't yet. I think there's 1 or 2 more rounds to go for Spirit to chain together before we really start talking about the mental game. But at some point, you have to consider Besiktas thinking to themselves, we were up 6-0. What are we doing? Why is this game still here? Like, why are we still playing? Shouldn't this be done already? And Spirit are slowly starting to get into the mindset of, okay, maybe we can do this. Maybe, we're not that far away. 6-4, 6-3. That's not a bad scoreline. We can definitely fight this into OT. We can get some points from this. So just gotta make sure that this doesn't completely derail for Besiktas. But before we get there, we do have to go to a third bomb site, which is Kitchen and Barbecue. And surprisingly enough, this was the first pick for Besiktas. So they seem to know their way around this bomb site, which makes it even more scarier, as it doesn't seem to be a favorite bomb site for the side of Spirit.
Actually, yeah. I actually very much agree to this. I don't know. And one more thing I need to point out, I feel like, okay, every attack round has sucked. If you really think about it, no single attack round has not sucked for either team. It's not like, they scraped together a win or something. Every attack round was lost. And I have to say, if you're only winning defense and you're not winning attack, and you're literally copying the lineup of the other team, maybe the lineup is the problem. Maybe in a map like Skyscraper, which is so spread out, maybe you need a roamer. Someone to just take the attention away, and Shoxel finally finds something that he's looking for. That's a Capita. He's gonna burn the whole room up. It's kind of funny that everything is made out of wood here and the whole building doesn't burn down, but that's the game. But speaking of the game, Bodolf gets one more. Okay, that's a trade. Donati, he dies, but at the same time takes out South Bar. Both of them shoot each other, and that's an old-fashioned Mexican standoff that goes the way of nobody. But overall, it's 4 versus 2.
It is the second direct trade inside of this matchup, and it is once again Donati who is involved. He seems to be doing very well in these direct trades, and an aggressive jump out from Vippe. He goes for all or nothing, trying to salvage this round, and puts Faro in an even worse spot. Faro, he's 1-7. He's gonna go 1-8. And this is going to be a confident victory for the side of Besiktas, as there we go, this was the opportunity they were looking for. They find themselves an opener, and unlike Spirit, they're able to snowball, they're able to get this into a very swift victory. This is what they're looking for. +5 on the scoreline. And with that, they're going to continue the chase on to no minis.
Absolutely. And I like that they're doing that, because this is a dominant showing. This is something that you have to be in form for. Like, this is it. This is the Besiktas we want to see. If you're going to face off against the best, you have to really play like the best. But my point for Romos, while it was completely moot by the end of the game, because, well, they finished it and they won. The first attack round was won, in this game. So quite a miracle in itself. But it just seems like it was not Besiktas who got a bit hasty, but Spirit. You have to look at the other side too. The people who are losing. Sometimes you feel like, oh, we're losing so badly. Let's just go fast. We need to reach 6 so fast. We need to reach 6 rounds. And there you make those mistakes. You kind of get a bit hasty. You kind of get a bit careless. And well, that's what happened.
All right, with that, we've got our first game done. Swift victory for Besiktas. Everyone on the desk has predicted right. We've got one right, everybody. And so that means we're going to have a second match coming up very, very soon. Before that, I think we'll take a very quick break as we set up the lobby, and then we'll be back with some pregame for our match number 2 of the evening. All right, we're back. It is once again me, Reaperins, and I am joined by Necris for this entire evening, I do believe. Don't go anywhere. As we've got three more games to go. Second game of the day is going to be, I do believe, NXT, or not NXT, sorry, I'm in the wrong week again. I'm all over the place today. It is Fraternity versus B. So we've got a middle of the pack team, Fraternity, against B, who, as an org, are fairly well established, but so far, inside of Div 1 in the first few playdays, they've looked a little disappointing.
So, what do you think? What do you think?
What do I think? Well, that's a
Mm-hmm.
good question. I did bet on B, just because of
Mm-hmm.
legacy. You know, I see that org name. I'm like, yeah, they have a good chance of winning. I haven't kept up
Hmm.
with their recent performances too much, so I'm wondering how they're going to go into this game against Fraternity here.
Mm-hmm.
Fraternity, entirely German org. Uh, so far, middle of the pack. Like I said, they're not really playing exceptional Siege so far, but they're doing all right. They're doing something right.
They definitely seem to be holding their own. I mean, if we see the, can we see the standings, Mr. Statman? Is that possible? Yes. Let's see what actually is the on-ground picture. Okay. So, yes, established org, but they're one of those teams who have lost more rounds than they have won. So, yeah, not great, but they're against Team Fraternity, which is, I mean, they have again 21-14, which is not a bad score at all. But I could hazard a guess that this could be a bit closer than the last game we saw.
Certainly could be, because we're not dealing with a Besiktas who is absolutely feeling themselves, and on top of that, trying to chase and catch up with no minis on the scoreboard. So quickly running through Spirit. Instead, we have two teams that so far have been a bit lackluster. We're expecting to see a bit more out of them if they want to make the cut, especially going into the playoffs. So we'll take a quick look at the map bans to see where these two
Hmm.
teams will take us, and it's going to be Clubhouse.
Pretty good, pretty standard. I like it. I've seen Clubhouse enough, and I think it started to grow on me. Reappearance. I really detest the map in general, but I think it's the way. I guess it's just me playing R6 that is revolting. So I'm just gonna stick to watching people play it, and probably be better at it than I ever will be. And one more good thing is that they play Clubhouse the way I guess it's supposed to be played. Good control based gameplay, really good pickoffs, and of course, the insane opening frag potential. So I'm excited. Are you?
Yeah, we'll go and have a look at this. Fraternity are a team. I think so far we've seen that they do seem to like Clubhouse. I mean, first of all, in the BO1, they've left it open. There's plenty of maps to ban. This one wasn't one of the maps that was banned by either team, obviously. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. Considering that, I think both teams going to be fairly comfortable on this. Clubhouse has replaced Oregon as the staple of the every established team goes to this. Everybody should know how to play this map because it
Hmm.
is and I don't mean this in any bad way, but it is the basic bitch. Everybody knows how to play it. You should know how to play fundamentals on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And with that, let's take a look as we are split right down the middle for this match in terms of the predictions. No sweep, unlike last time. And you're going to be the deciding factor here in who is favored by the desk, Necros.
I'm gonna go with B. I'm gonna go with B. And I have just put in my prediction separately too. B is going to be my prediction for, I mean, mostly because of random reasons, but also because, come to think of it, I kind of want them to win. After seeing the stats, after seeing the scoreboards and everything, I really feel that this is the time to pop off, kind of bring the glory that their org has to be seen in this game, this roster. So I'm excited for it, and I really want it to happen.
Fun fact B have won against Bon Voyage because of a forfeit. So everybody in the league, of course, has one victory because Bon Voyage did forfeit the league. They're disqualified. Other than that, they have two forfeit losses, and Playday 3 was in the middle of a qualifier, so it got moved. So B hasn't actually played yet. They're in the standings toward the bottom because they haven't played a single game inside of this league. This is going to be their opener. So there's a lot of uncertainty going into this, unlike Fraternity, who have already played. And I'm looking at the previous Playday. That's actually quite impressive. Fraternity, they almost took Besiktas to overtime. It was a 5-7 loss, I do believe, on Border. So on an aggressive map, taking Besiktas to all 12 rounds of regulation, we might be in for a decent matchup between those two.
That changes things, but it doesn't change my prediction. What it does change is the perception of B. They're not. We don't know what they are. They're a complete enigma. We don't know how they play. They could probably be better, arguably, than no meanies, and we would have no bloody idea right now. So, with that in mind, I'm going to say I'm excited. I want B to like really blow this whole game out of the water and 7-1 or 7-2 this. Just blow through it
Make
completely.
it another quick one.
Yeah. I mean,
Get us,
because
yeah.
I don't know, it's just something about today that I think we want to sometimes watch like a long drawn out game, see more matches. But the pacing, it's kind of growing on me again. Like it's that action, they're kind of feeling themselves, and I like when a team is feeling themselves and they're super confident. They're not making mistakes, which is one of the greatest indicators of a match ending fast. Because it has no bearing on the opponent team like being bad or something, but it's also the team that is winning that is playing exceptionally good. So because see, in R6, you make mistakes versus a bad team, you still lose the round. So you're gonna take if you're taking time, you're doing something wrong, right? Technically. So I'm gonna say I'm I wanna be surprised. I wanna be surprised in the bans. I'll say, you know what? I know it's Clubhouse, so you are going to ban the Monty and the Blitz. You cannot not ban the Monty and the Blitz, but you have to be very careful that you don't ban something like a waste operator. I want them to ban Grim actually. Keep one shield out in the mix, but really Grim on this map is a menace. Okay.
Well, this is close enough to a Grim. It works somewhat differently to the Grim, but people really like bringing it the Ying, an execute-based operator, getting rid of that, making sure that none of these hatch executes come through,
Oh.
and a Maverick ban to follow it. Of course, in previous metas, Maverick was a staple ban on this map, especially because there's so many walls outside, there's so many hatches that you can completely negate the Kite on. But this is surprising. We have Monty and Blitz open, which means that in all likelihood, we are going to see at least a few rounds with the Monty open.
Monty on Clubhouse. I shudder to think that basically like it's the same thing, You have like a garage entry by Monty. You kind of make your way up the stairs. You go into every single place, anywhere you want to go. You want to go basement, just drop down. You want to go up the stairs, just go up. And you band out. See, okay, these are like two patches behind bands. Like I don't know. I've seen this like a year ago or something, but I don't know, man. I won't be surprised. Oh, yeah, there comes a Tubarao. So, a Tubarao is definitely going to show his face in a map. Oh, and they got a Scopos. I like that they're finally playing this operator. It's competitively unlocked, so you can play it. And I really, really feel it's a super good operator, like an insanely good operator. And I'm glad they're playing it.
I like the concept of Skopos because it really changes the idea of where opponents can be. And I think the last operator that did this in terms of, like, for instance, flanking capability is Oryx. Because Oryx revolutionized the
Mhm.
idea of a flank because he has the potential to rotate very quickly because, my goodness, does he move across the map fast when he has access to the dash. But on top of that, he's able to go up hatches. So if you're not watching that hatch, he might just sneak up behind you. And Skopos has that same kind of vibe. If you can hide the other clone, the other copy, in a good spot, like we can see at the moment at the
Mm.
one of the Scopus is inside of the shower at the moment. If you can put that in a good place, you can potentially just outmaneuver your opponents all by yourself. You can play a 1v1 and somehow manage to flank the player that you were actively fighting a few seconds ago.
Oh, okay. And they started off with a bang. Jobu gets one, and it's a headshot. The peeker. He gets peaked, and that's a Tubarao gone. I I have to say though, the the Hibana is it's okay. Yeah, that's bound to happen. Obviously, it's lucky, and next time he will definitely get him back. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true, my man. Go for it. As for this Hibana, lost quite a couple of health. They have gone with the Grim, which is not surprising at all. They've gone with the Demos, not surprising. They've gone with a Thatcher and a Hibana and a Ram. On paper, this lineup really pops off. Even with the Skopos, I really feel that Team Fraternity's lineup itself is so strong that it's going to be hard for them to contain it. They don't have much anti gadget. I mean, there's a Melusi, but then again, you you're susceptible to like information gatherers, the drones and everything, unless you just die to a gunshot somewhere. But otherwise, this game could be like a very slow and steady pace for Team Fraternity, taking their time, slowly moving into the site, taking pickups because the information is on their side right now.
All right, quick kill from the Skopos as once again, bit of a nuisance up on the top floor is that Skopos clone, and you can see Chris, he's already back in the basement. He's looking at this camera right here. Does he move back into this? No. Instead, he will get naded, so that is the clone gone. Which means that Chris will presumably go off that cam. He's now stuck in the basement, but let's be real. With 2 minutes off the clock in a 4v4, you've wasted enough time on the top floor, and you've had zero risk of actually getting yourself killed, because you have a free rotate back into site. With no contestation. They can cut you off on every angle, you just go into a corner, and you just go back to site.
Absolutely. And wonderfully played, I'll say. And B, really amping it up. They're still, the way they're playing, it's quite reminiscent to. I keep forgetting the name of the team, but nonetheless, it's quite reminiscent to many good defenses on Clubhouse that I have seen. Really taking their time, not giving away a single inch, no risk. Even if there's a high reward chance, no risk. They go for pick-offs that are very, very evident. Zunti does go down, but Chris is right there. It's a quad kill for this guy. My god, this guy's an ace!
It is a round one Skopos ace! Necros, you wanted to see this operator? Well, here you see it in all its glory. The new Greek operator, the two clones able to strike, and a 5k, an ace in the very first round to open things up. Now, you're looking at the round in retrospect, and you're thinking maybe it was a good thing that Galanis didn't get that spawn peak, because you would have taken that ace away. Instead, we get to look at this impressive scoreline. Chris opens up with 5 kills for himself. That's the first round, a 2B, and I mean, hey, what a way to do it.
What a way to do it indeed, man. My god. I mean, I knew this operator was good, and I'm not going to take anything away from the player itself. I mean, Chris, phenomenal. Well played and well deserved. But Skopos, man, this guy is deceptive. And I have to mention, you may play it a lot in pubs, but to play it in a scrim or to play it in a tournament, that's rare. This is the first time I've seen a Skopos get picked, So I'm pretty sure these guys in the multiple games that they have played, Skopos probably appeared in like probably 10. So it's not necessarily an operator that you're used to, You're not really accustomed to the way Skopos is operating, and you know it in concept, but to play against it is a different beast in itself. And well, B seem to be exploiting it quite well. They're not going with the Skopos this time, so it's going to be a very, very simple lineup. I really like it though. It's a Frost and a Castle and a Bandit in the same map. Absolute bloody turtle. And it's going to be massively effective because there's a mirror also. My god, these guys are going to be staying inside the site at all times. Not even a single peek outside into garage.
Well, they're mostly going to be contesting the entirety of top floor to prevent horizontal play, as Faith is trying to open up this wall. The Bandit trick is coming through. Is able to get the Selma, but the Thermite charge at the same time is going to deny that. Fraternity bringing redundancy, bringing a secondary hard breacher is very important here. So they're able to open up the left and the right side at the same time, which means Bandit is not able to trick both. So very good start to that. Chris just gets rid of one Selma, immediately rotates back, doesn't overstay his welcome either. But speaking of overstaying their welcome, Galanis, you said next time, but apparently that time is not yet, as once again, he's the opening death for the side of B.
I don't know about your country, but my country has a saying, like, next time never comes. it's kind of a way to say like carpe diem, seize the day. But in this particular game, the metaphor really takes a different meaning. Speaking of Onyx, it goes down to, and this time Team Fraternity is on a roll. They've gotten two completely free kills. They've not lost a single bit, and Michelle gets one more. I am okay. Now this is getting a bit scary, right? B started very dominantly, but suddenly they're slipping so bad, and now Chris, unless he gets another ace, this round seems to be in the bag for Team Fraternity.
A very, very solid round. Chris is able to at least reinforce off the rotate. The question is, how much is that going to do for the remainder of B, as they've really only got Sorix and Chris to try and hold up the defense. Of course, Chris, he's gotten himself an ace already. He could just do it again, get himself onto 10 kills immediately, but what are the chances of that, especially with the amount of pressure that Fraternity can now exert onto the remaining site players? Very slow control being gained. Leon making sure he doesn't overstep. He's staying ADS, and Slash is able to find Sorix, and this really does leave it down to just Chris. He takes some damage. He takes even more damage as he's getting flashed, and the plant is going down. More flashbangs coming through. Leon finally goes for that swing, and it is a flawless round for the side of Fraternity to respond to an ace. So already we've got some very, very interesting and quite different rounds shaping up for both of these teams, as we're now tied up between the two in the first two rounds.
Oh, we have a game on our hands, reappearance. And I mean, next time better be this round. Otherwise, you're gonna give away the lead to Fraternity. Galanis, if you're gonna spawn peak, you gotta get it, man. You really need to get it. And I wish. I don't know why they're not going with the Scopos. It was so insanely effective, but maybe they're not attributing it to the operator necessarily. So I guess they're not going with Scopos.
I think it can be attributed more so to the bomb site, if anything. The reasons the Scopos came out on basement was because the top floor room with the Scopos, it's so carefree. Once again, you can't get cut off on rotates. It is basically a free contingency. It's a roamer with zero risk of dying, as long as you play it right, as long as you don't get yourself pinched or lose a gunfight that you maybe shouldn't. Right? In ideal circumstances, it is a risk-free roamer, and risk-free roamer, those two things don't. They're not supposed to belong in the same sentence together, but thanks to Skopos, now that is a reality inside of Siege. And it is up to the attackers to try and find ways to deal with this. At the moment, I really like the ingenuity of people placing the different Skopos clones and trying to go between the two and trying to really cause confusion, because you can be all over the map at the same time. You can contest so much space, you're basically playing with 6 players.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, that is an interesting way to look at it. Actually, yeah. Yeah, even if I think if it's a 1F plant, it's still, I think Scopos still works. I think you just get like this insane kind of verticality with Scopos that's kind of underrated. It's not the traditional kind of verticality that you're used to, by breaking floorboards or like hatches. But Scopos clone, I mean, it works. And I'm excited for it. But as for this round, I'm excited for probably either of the team. Let's see what they really whip up. Because every single person from Team Fraternity, they've made their way across this one stairwell. And okay, the first person goes down. This is Mzundi. He gets one. And I want to make a special announcement. Galanis is alive, guys. So this is already a very, very largely different round from the one last time.
Well, Galanis seems to be trying to get himself killed. He's down to 22 HP once again. He really wants to be involved in these opening engagements, but this time around, this is the first opening fight that goes in favor of B, and they have a chance to just hold on to this, as it looks like they're evacuating cash. They're getting themselves out of there. They're just hot-footing it out, making sure that they don't really give any more control over, but they still got Shundi to try and get a second. He's trying to go for a push here. He's able to find another on red. He tries to pre-fire onto a third, but now he's getting wallbanged. Jobu is at the very least able to finally find that trade, but it comes at the cost of 2 of his teammates, and that is all of your soft breach gone, as the Buck and the Ash have been dealt with.
Oh, yeah, my god. 2 soft breachers just out of the map, and now you're left with like a thermite and an ace, and they're going to be remodeling this whole place very soon, unless they get picked off. They have a Thatcher, so the bandit tricks, it's possible to really delay it and probably get a breach off, but it's going to be so difficult. I mean, they're resorted to breaching hatches and run away from them, because they literally cannot do anything there. There are no peaks available, and this guy just runs out. I mean, this is the time you kind of gather a couple of, like, good points in the map where you try to get more control as the defenders, and well, yeah, you're going to be breaching castle barricades, looking for any opening possible. And I think I am as excited as Team Fraternity is to find something. Like, they know a couple of operators are pretty low, the team must have called it out. Just need to like finish those two off, and they're in a mad advantage. And this is a winnable round for Team Fraternity. It's not necessarily gone. And speaking of Jobu, he gets a double. So this is one more down, but at the same time, Chris, he finishes Rob. And look at the time. It's 7 seconds. 1 versus 3. Onyx gets one more. 5, 4. And nope, it's going to be Onyx picking one more up. And this is another round for B.
All right, B respond after letting the first one slip through their grasp and losing to a flawless. This time around, they're able to clean it up a lot better. They're able to find not just the opening engagement, but a 2-for-1 trade on the side of Shundi. Then they rotate themselves back, and from their Fraternity, really just start running out of time. They start, treading on their own feet because they have no space to take. They have nowhere to go. And they've got no means to try and take it. I did like that the Ace was bringing some breach charges at the very least. Even though you've already lost both of your soft breachers, you still had one more guy to try and open up these castle barricades. But it all happened too late. And it was too little to try and contribute to the round in a meaningful way. And with that, B put themselves back in the lead, and now basement opens back up. And as I've pointed out to you, Necris, I think it's the basement. Chris is right back on that Scott boss.
You were absolutely. I love when you're right, reappearing. Quite a lot of times, actually. I won't take that away from you. You're right quite a lot of times. You know this game very well. But do you know if this is going to work the second time around? I'll say yes.
Ooh, that is a good question. Well, I think that's mostly down to the gunfighting capability of Chris, and I mean, he showed us that he can do it in the very first round. So at the moment, I'm a believer. I'm not questioning it.
I hope that your hope stays with him, because it's quite heartbreaking. There's one more angle I've often thought about it. Let's say you like an operator and you start on it and you own on it, right? For 1 round, for 2 rounds, for 3 rounds, and once you lose with it, you lose the complete momentum. But okay, guys, it has happened. Yes, yes, yes. That's it. The game's over. We can
And a
finish
second,
this
are you
right now.
kidding me, Galanis?
Yeah.
He said next time, and next time is right now. He wasn't talking about the next round. He was talking about the next basement defense. That's what he was referencing. He gets himself 2 spawn peaks outside the building, and this is the first 2 kills for him. He's once again involved in the opening engagements. Yeah, he's taken damage, but who cares? He's killed the sledge. He's killed the Hebana, those hatches. Except for 1 can opener in the pocket of favor staying closed, and Onyx shuts down Michel as well. It is a quick round for the side of B, and we've already only got 1 player left standing as Galanis kills a 3rd player outside the building. It's only down to Leon. He's barely gotten himself in. He finally shuts down Galanis, but the question is how much more can he realistically do? He's fighting on all ends. He's getting tagged from up above and from down below. He has to get back out the building. He has 0 map control now, and I think this might just be a bit of a break and a bit of a timeout for Fraternity, because realistically, what are you gonna do?
Galanis could very well be from the Freemasons for the cryptic messages he keeps sending. Next time. And next time indeed. Oh, that's a spicy one, huh? You just die. C4s. The absolute apex of R6 fragging. And I will say this. There you bring out. Yep, that's it. This is enough of an ass kicking for you to bring out a Monty. I think this is what I'm talking about. You get kicked out of this round so bad that you're like, you know what? I will bite my honor and eat whatever self-respect I have and pick up a Monty. And it's a 2F plant. You're going to make your way up the garage stairs. You know it's happening. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, as a longtime Monty main, I would like to present you with a counter argument. But I don't have one.
Hey, you had me in the first half, but you know who had us in the first half? Galanis! This sneaky bugger. He absolutely delivered. This guy, he didn't stop. One kill, fine. And he got the. Mind you, he got the kill on the guy who killed him the first time around. So, as a start off revenge kill, he was already on fire. Gets two more, opens it
Yeah.
up for the team. That's one more round on the board. My God, this guy he's paying for himself, guys. This guy was a good pickup on your roster. Whatever you're paying him, great. You keep paying him.
I was gonna say, like, Galanis, at first I thought it was a bit of banter and, like, a witty remark,
Yeah.
like
A
a,
comeback.
I'll get you next.
Yeah.
It wasn't. No, this wasn't good sportsmanship. This was a threat. Just an outright threat. And he made he made true of it. He absolutely made that come into realization as he's able to pick himself up that triple. And now we've got Chris in the basement, both two-barreling the wall to keep it closed with that can opener, wasting some time. And at the same time, he's also prepping a C4 to try and throw at this Monty. Comes out, it lands, it does a bit of damage, but definitely not what they were hoping for as Jobo goes down to 95. So, oh, I think it might have been enough to at least deter Jobo. It looks like he's rotating around. He doesn't want any of this. He gets C4'd once. He's like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm going somewhere else.
I mean, that's heads up play from both those players. I'll say Jobu for making the decision to not stick around and keep trying over there. And plus, Chris, that was phenomenal positioning and game sense by him. He really deterred that push because a garage Monty push, that's intimidating. It's very difficult to counter it. And once he's inside the site, there's really not much you can do. And they have successfully put him outside. He's waiting. He's okay. I mean, he's into this place in construction. He's finally made his way into the site. He has a diffuser on him. But it took some time, right? It makes the team kind of get into position to now deal with this Monty. They know he's here. They know he's entering through construction into cash. And will they get something done here? They have more C4s. They have actually 4 C4s available with them. So with the right kind of positioning and the right initiation, maybe they get this kill here. Ooh. Oh, yes. Galanes. He just flanks these guys. These guys, they're not looking at their flanks. Galanes just walks back, kills the 2 people who are backing up this Monty. He's all alone, gets picked up by a C4. 2 versus 4. Beautifully played by B. 2 versus 4. Just like that. This whole kind of I thought this was kind of a good start for Team Fraternity. They made their way into the side, but it's not working, man. This guy, okay, Leon finally the last man down, 1 versus 2 gets 2. This is good. Oh, almost gets Onyx, but no, not enough. B takes another.
I mean, at this point, Leon's just farming kills in the 1v4s, 1v5s. Like, what do you do? He's being left by his teammates in these unwinnable positions. He's able to find some kills, but at the moment, it's a B sweep. They're all over this half. They've gotten themselves 4, so they're not going to lose this. They might even be able to close it into a 5-1 going into the attack. And from there, I mean, once again, we might be looking at a snowball. We might be looking at another quick game. Necros, you wanted another quick one. You wanted B to absolutely convince us of their performance because once again, all of their scorelines, all of their stats so far from inside of this stage is not from them playing. It is forfeits. It is forfeit wins. It is forfeit losses. They have not played a single game, I assume due to scheduling issues, and now they're finally here and they're showing us what they're made of. And they're showing us that they can absolutely put Fraternity in the dirt.
Absolutely. And they're gonna not put them in the dirt, they're gonna put them in the water. And it's gonna be like, oh, please, somebody help me. I'm under the water. And it's gonna be fun. It's nice to see people bullying the other team in this fashion. I'm all for this kind of bullying. Don't bully your schoolmates or whoever. Bully people in the game. Break their spirit online in a game that they play and enjoy, so that they'll never play it again and they'll resent it and they'll probably shift to another. Probably, I don't know. I don't know if there's a better game than R6, but you can try. You're encouraging people to explore. So please go for it, right?
The list of games better than R6 is very long. Personal opinion.
Okay, you know what? I don't get paid by UB, so I'm gonna say yes. There's another game by UB I really like, For Honor. I really enjoy it. I would much rather play For Honor. Actually, no, it's equally aggravating. I will not play any UB game. I'll just stick to I don't know, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood multiplayer and throw knives at people, I think. Oh, speaking of nines, oh, the Sunday, he gets one, Onyx gets the second, 3 versus 5. This seems like a repeat. B have gotten 2 free kills, and my god,
Look
the
at this.
Melusi is.
It is the same two people. You've lost all of your soft breach again. It is a Thatcher, it is a Thermite, it is an Ace. This time around, there's 2 minutes left in the round, so they've lost these players even earlier, and Shundi is alive. So, by all means, this is even worse than last time, and it's an exact mirror of last time. How do you manage to do this? Like, this is almost impressive to be able to mirror a round like this.
Yeah, uncomfortable position to be in. Michelle picks one. Okay, so that's it. That's going to be it for Sorix. There's no Kaid in this game, but I think he has laid down all the traps he was ever going to lay down. There's another soft breach. This looks like a freaking deja vu from the last one, man. Every single thing. This guy has breach charges ready because he knows he can't trust his breachers to stay alive. So now he is doing the hard work. But in that Galanes, he just peeks and kills 2. This guy's on fire, and I like it. He is okay. There's a question mark right as he's playing. This guy's a Chad, man. This guy is typing while he's playing, man. Insane.
Galanis, the keyboard warrior, jumps out the building, tries to go for one more, but he gets himself injured. It is the hot drop. It is the drop out of the skies. The leap of faith, if you will. We were talking about Assassin's Creed a moment ago. Jobu is able to find at least one. Throws a drone into absolutely nowhere with 40 seconds left. This is going to be too long to try and get this up main stairs. There's going to be like 20, maybe 15 seconds left when he gets this drone to the top of main. Buddy, you don't have the time to be droning right now. You've got 2 players left. I know you need info on these 2 guys, but what are you going to do? Now you know that there's a smoke in that corner. What are you doing with this information? You have no idea where Shundi is. You have to drop. You're giving away your location. You can only go for a vault into this window now. You're completely stuck on this. 10 seconds. Wall is soft. He's trying to go for the fight. Is at least able to find one. Finish off what was left of Shundi, but it's not enough. And there we go, the trade comes in for B, and it is a decisive 5-1 half as B now get themselves onto the attack.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. That was risky. That could have very well gone to Fraternity. He could have just waited it out, but he chose to peek. Fine, he killed him, but that was risky. That could have gone both ways. There could have been one more round for Team Fraternity that arguably B had already won. But nonetheless, that didn't happen. It's gonna be Team Fraternity with 1 point and 5 on B. They want to bring it to match point. Will they, is the question.
Well, Fraternity have done a lot more on their attacking half than we could ever hope for on the side of Spirit.
You keep getting them, man. My God, you got them again. You know,
Still ripping
okay,
into
they
Spirit.
don't deserve
yeah,
that.
We're on
much
another
flack
map already. It's
interference.
different opponents, and I'm still ripping into Spirit.
See, today we're in this theme, bullying people, 7-2, possibly 7-1 here. Talking as in, oh my God, we are spawn peeking people, but dying in the process. So I'm gonna send a cryptic message for the next basement plant for me to pick up a 3K. If that is not cyberbullying, what is? You know?
Yeah, we're just matching the temperament of Galanis at this point. We're trying to keep up. Just kind of puts me in that mood today after those messages because my goodness, what a threat. Love to see it. And now we've got B trying to go for a bit of an attack, and you can see they've got a bit of a different strategy to try and deny this bandit trick. I don't know if that comes out in time. Yeah, better for Michel to try and get off of that. He most likely would have gotten injured, if not died to that exothermic. So he just quickly runs away, lets that wall get opened. There's not much you can do about the amount of nades and the amount of counter util that comes in there. And Shundi once again with the opening pick. Now he does get traded by Fave at the very least, but he's really been good around this cash side. He loves finding some pickups around cash, doesn't matter if it's attack or defense. Now, of course, the Dokkaebi is dead, so that second phone call won't come out, and Sorix is trying to chase the player from inside of the basement. Fave has to be careful here that he doesn't get himself floor banged as he's being live tracked by the one and only villain of the Siege universe. And Galanis is able to find one more. Sorix finally able onto Fave once again with that beautiful revolver. It is only down to Leon and Michel, and Leon at the very least is able to find himself not just one, but two. That equalizes things. So now there's the opportunity for Fraternity to try and find this one back.
Oh god. This Demos just cosplayed the shark from Jaws, you know? And he's just he's shooting the oh my god, there's something under me and boom 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 boom. I gotta run. It's ridiculous. And these guys are running fine, you know, it's all great, but yeah, Leon, he gets him. 2 versus 1. All this hard fought stuff, not for nothing. You guys it's 2 finally for Fraternity.
Right, and with that, I mean, it was a good attack run from B. I was like, just looking at it, it looked solid. The only thing that stood in their way there was Leon, and Leon puts them to shame. He's been good on hitting some of these shots and the 1v4s and whatnot, but now he's finally given an opportunity to do it at a basically for Fraternity. Don't want to count out, of course, the other members feeding info, and of course, Misha able to find some kills as well. Don't want to try and counter that, but it was Leon who really turned that round on its head.
Yeah. And seems like the whole thing is turning. I'm kind of blind right now. I don't know if it's just me, but possibly let's you know what this is what I love about this game. It's always a mystery. And see, I am not okay. Galanis is trash talking. There's an Oryx pick on Team Fraternity. Everything is well and good. You know, this is what I like about this game. Stop talking. Yeah, okay. I mean, okay. So we're back, reappearance. We're back. This is a great way to start back the game. You know, this is a good way to do it. Now we're talking, indeed. Okay.
I love this banter. This back and forth is great. Leon just goes, "Stop talking," and the only thing that you get out of Galanis from that is a meow. The guy starts making cat noises. It's this guy. It just I don't even know what to say.
He's a mensch, my friend. He's a mensch, an absolute mensch, I tell you. Because this guy, I will give it to him. He typed a question mark. I'm not just saying a question mark. The symbol question mark. You know the symbol.
Oh, yeah, the missing symbol. Yeah.
Yeah. The missing symbol question mark while he was vaulting down a wall and shooting people. So, I think he has already earned his place in the Hall of Fame, at least for this tournament, in my eyes. But it remains to be seen if he takes this game for B, because it's getting a bit dicey right now.
All right, Shundi, he's good for these opening picks. That's, I think, where most of his kills have come from so far. It's really been nothing but opening engagements. So we'll see if he finds some success here. He's backed up by Galanis, who's also found himself to the bottom of these stairs here on blue. Jobo is able to find the first one onto Chris.
Whoa.
But immediately, Galanis, there we go, he's able to find a trade. He's inside of the site. It's only been a minute. You have not gotten any of the roam control, but you're forcing these players back to site. You can see Slash going back downstairs. You can see site being contested. The plant is going down.
Oh, he almost gets a deny, but he doesn't. Oh, that's okay. The plant is down. Zundi, he gets traded. Okay, a great C4 from Jobu. So 3 versus 2. Plant taking down very, very carefully, but oh god, the Oryx, he's dead. But 1 versus 1, they still have it back. Slash. Oh god, this guy, he's a flanking god. He sees him. He gets him down. Yes, he does. That's a triple kill, and that's one more round for Team Fraternity.
Both of the players sprinting in the 1v1.
Oh,
Kickstar
God.
would be turning in his grave.
It's happening.
Oh, we've got the... Yeah, all right. This is... I love this. The banter in the other direction. Leon is starting to heat up inside of the chat. Not just inside of the server, but inside of the chat as well.
Oh, yeah.
Missed the call.
Yeah, okay. Zundi's fault. He's getting old. Okay.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, age comes for us all, reappearance. I feel that's the reality of life that we eventually have to deal with. But what they need to deal with right now is this Chris Monty. Woo! I'm looking at it. I'm feeling it. And I'm feeling it. But I don't know. 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 But let's see if B is feeling it. You know?
Well, we'll see. I've not seen Chris on the Monty. I'm curious to see what he does with it.
And okay, so they're switching out the Dokebi for an Iana and the Monty for a Thatcher and an Osa. I like
Oh,
it.
this also plays interesting. I wonder what they're
Yeah.
going for. This might just be some Ossas on the outside the main breach. I assume that they want to get CC open and just hold some long angles from behind those Talon shields because they do give you a decent bit of cover. But it could also be that they try and use this for a backside take. You could put it down somewhere inside of construction and open up that backside wall. We'll have to wait and see. Only one hard breacher brought. There is can openers in the hands of Sorix, but he's most likely going to use them on Garage, so you really only have this one. You'll only have the chance with Onyx to open up the wall, so if you fail here... Oh, there's a Maestro Cam getting hacked. The Brava already finding huge value as she's able to hack a Maestro Cam. That is bulletproof utility, and she can now zap away at some of these defenders playing on rafters if they're in the wrong positions.
This is a big thing to give away, actually. I mean, he should have been right in place.
Oh no! Oh no! What are you doing, Jobu?
God. They saw the shuffling through that small hole here, and that was enough for him to peek. And the Maestro, okay, I mean, you know, in all fairness, the Maestro had no cams, so he might as well can die, right? So,
That's the wrong wall, Misha. Oh, it goes from bad to worse. Not just the Maestro trying to challenge the drone hole for some reason, and this Brava hacking everything. Every piece of it, just bulletproof utility is now in the hands of the attackers. There's 2 Maestro cams hacked, the bulletproof cam. We haven't seen if off-screen maybe something else was hacked as well. Could be that all 3 Maestro cams are gone at this point, so all of this info now instead feeds the attackers. And as if that wasn't bad enough already, they have the advantage. The defenders are missing that bullet hose of an Alda to try and fight back as Galanas gets himself into the site. A double kill and execute. Galanas with a triple. It's only down to Fave. And this is looking like match point as Galanas once again comes out with the funny little question mark symbols. And Leon with giving the little sportsmanship, the little banter, miscall. It was the thing of the previous round. I love that they just keep doing this. The banter between these two teams is unreal.
oh, and now it's Jobu's fault, and probably he is getting old too. Is he? I want to see it. No, okay, this is
It must be
no
everyone getting
ageism
old.
right now, at least. But hey, you know, good round, good play, and I will say though that Brava drone was alive for a bit too long. You know, then there was a bandit looking at it for quite some time. Never really managed to kill it. Quite weird, actually. And now Jobu
I did say, Jobu, what are you doing? So let's be real here. It's not unjustified, the criticism that he's getting from the enemy team, and I don't think B mean this in a bad way. This is just like, you know, tips for next time.
So
I think B might have forgotten that they're not in a scrim.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is Jobu is an absolute garbage player. Okay, this is so reappearance is saying that Jobu is
Now you're putting words in my mouth. I did not say that.
Yeah. So get this, Team Fraternity, whenever you watch this VOD back, I want you to know that I wasn't biased. Okay? While Galanis did kick your ass and he kind of, you know, he took names and he chewed gum there.
Not biased, by the way. Not biased.
Yeah, and not biased. So even if you're probably gonna lose this game, you guys have been an absolute blast to cast. This has been probably the most fun match I have casted till now. And yeah, keep the question marks coming. Keep, you know, just keep the trash talk alive. This is what life is about, guys. Play Siege, make it miserable for the other. I think that's the real game here. Who gets out more miserable, you know? Who hates their life more after this game? Looks like Slash is gonna hate it quite for at least a minute or two because he gets naded, and that's quite a bad start. Again, Onyx gets one more 3 versus 5. It's heating up, and B is Onyx on a double kill. This guy, he's not gonna stop. So
this game is
he gets
over.
put down, but oh god,
Just like
these
that.
guys are running in. Yeah, it's a meat grinder. It's Almost done. Jobu, he wants to get some redemption here. Jobu, missed calls from you are gonna be enough Capcan traps to get it back, but not enough for you to get back into the game. It's a GG. B wins. Woo! What an entry. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Lovely from Galanis. He gets the great little MVP animation from the Master Chief bundle. And we've got ourselves a victory for the side of B, the first time they've actually played inside of this league. And they walk away with a whole 3 points. They're able to get a nice little regulation victory, confident victory over Fraternity. I think, after watching this match, we can definitely gauge who was the better team here today. And that team definitely did win. But my goodness, that they make it entertaining in the process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But there's no time to waste, reappearance. We are going to break probably in some time. But before that, I want to say a huge shout out to, well, to Fraternity for playing a very, very good game. For the most part, even if you lost quite a few rounds, and in a fashion that people might say that it was like a complete, mow down, probably like a very sad kind of loss. I will still say you guys showed how to play against such an aggressive team that B is. Even in an attack side, I was really thinking that B would just wash over every round. Like they wouldn't give them a single chance. But these guys, they fought. Tooth and nail, they fought. They kept the trash talk alive. So huge kudos for that. And well, the victors are B, but good one, Team Fraternity.
All right, and with that, we've got 2 games done already, 2 decisive victories so far. We've gotten nothing but regulation so far, but let's see if that maybe changes up with the second half of our games. We've got 2 more to go, and the first one coming up will be ranked 2.0 champs versus Ryzen. And so just stay tuned for that. The two of us, both me, Reaperance, and my lovely co-caster Necros, will be back for that in just a moment. Until then, stay tuned and maybe grab some water.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Always hydrate. All right, very quick update. We are back, but only for a moment because it does appear that Ranked 2.0 champs have forfeit their game against Ryzen. So, hey, at the very least, Nikris, sadly, you didn't get to pick one, but I betted on Ryzen, and therefore, technically, I'm right. And that's the very best kind of right.
Okay, fine. You know what? He has to win sometime, right? So I mean,
I haven't
I'll give
lost a
it to him.
prediction yet.
Yeah, whatever. So my point is, this is unfortunately it's going to be a long break, guys. It's going to be 1 hour till the next match. Um, and till then, I hope you stick with us. Though there's a lot of possibly fun matches coming up, possibly fun rounds coming up. Otherwise, it's going to be a snooze fest. But even if it is, guys, with us, everything is fun because we are fun guys. We're the cool kids here. We're the coolest kids in the zone.
Also, I don't think it's gonna be boring. Like, yeah, we'll have a big break now, and that sucks, but we do still have no minis to go through. So we've been
Oh,
talking about them the whole evening. So they definitely got to show up now.
7-0. Yes to 7-0.
Yeah, if they don't perform, my spirit is gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
broken.
And you will be wrong, and I will point it out. I will point it
Absolutely.
out, believe you me.
I
Right?
think I bet on
Yeah.
NXT. I had no idea who No Minis was. I just quickly clicked something in OPL. I didn't have time to look at the teams.
Oh God.
It's an
Okay.
excuse. I'm
Wow.
already making excuses. I
Wow.
know, I know.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Very
Yeah.
weak.
Fine.
You know what? No, I believe in the NXT upset. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
I
Don't
was
worry
gonna
about
say, just
it.
stand by your
Yeah,
damn pick, man.
sure, absolutely.
Excuses. But anyway, you know what, guys? You don't have to listen to. You don't have to be here for your parents, like just making excuses and just wasting our time. So we're gonna go into break. We're not gonna waste any more time. Reappearance. He will amend his ways. He will seek apology and penance, and he will not make excuses. And also, he will not claim victories in a forfeited match. That's a rule from now on. But until then, goodbye, but not for long. So it's not goodbye, just bye.
All right, there we go. We're finally back after a bit of a longer break. I hope you've all had some time to think the previous two games over and prepare for this last one, as we've got NXT left to play against No Meanies, who so far are both undefeated, actually. So one of these two teams is going to lose their win streak here. NXT currently up 3-0, No Meanies up 4-0. So it's gonna be a clash of titans here to end our day, Necros.
Oh my god. I am pumped right now. Because, the thing about undefeated teams, now this is quite an obvious thing to state, but if you really think about it, not really. You haven't really lost, right? So you don't know how losing really feels like. You're riding the high, you're riding the lightning. So you're feeling invincible, you're pretty, you feel cool. Fine, we dropped a couple of rounds, but we're not really lost. We still win. But now, as an immovable object is put up against like an unstoppable force, it's almost as if we do not know what the hell is going to happen. And I'm pretty sure no meanies or NXT does not know what's going to happen. They're racking their brains. I don't know what the next map is, right? As of now, at least. But whatever they have picked, they know very well that it's like a gladiator. It's a gladiatorial match. Absolutely. Someone's going to get their head cut off in the most brutal way. This is probably not going to be a one sided game, probably. But if it is, it's going to be enough to break the overall morale for that team for quite some time, and it could affect their further performances. Fine, they're a great team. Nonetheless, they will be winning against lesser teams. Yes, but will they have that same dominance? I doubt it. So more than anything, this game means that somebody is kind of going to be a bit soul broken, as they say.
All right, and with that, a very quick look at the lineup for No Meanies. Of course, that has been shifting around a bit recently. This team is uh, just going through a bunch of different players, mostly also because of availability. Formerly known as Lay's Dogs, fielded by Leighton for a while. He wasn't on the team for a bit, which is why they rebranded to No Meanies. I don't know if he will be playing tonight, but I can tell you that even without Leighton, Lay's Dogs was a formidable team. Inside of, for instance, the R6 Central Combine, they had a decent run in there. But of course, I do want to take a look at their opponents as well, because you guys might be familiar with NXT, and I was familiar with that name as an org as well. But this roster, bit of a different one. Very,
Hmm.
very stacked French roster, and these guys made it all the way. The most recent achievement, that wasn't that long ago. I think it was like a week or two. They made it into the LCQ playoffs for the major qualification. Now, mind you, they didn't make it to LCQ, but they made it into the qualifier playoffs.
Hmm.
Alongside Besiktas, by the way, Nikras.
Ah, yes. Alongside Besiktas. That really that really grinds my gears, so to say. If you really think about it, this just adds to the complete enigma of this match. We absolutely do not know what the hell is going to happen at all. And frankly, the map bans,
I
okay,
like
they
this.
indicate
That's
Night
good.
Haven. This is a true test reappearance. I feel this is a true test. If this map, or like probably no one picks layer, but if you pick one of these two maps, I feel like you're really testing the waters here. Nobody knows what the hell is going to go on. Because Night Haven, it's as arbitrary as anything. And I think for the last game of the day, this is quite a good way to end it all, actually.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Lair is not really a map that's going to come out because, let's be real, it's a map that gets prepped by T1 teams because, of course, they want to stay ahead of the meta. And it gets brought out by I think, the bottom of T4 that says, you know what, we don't know how to play this map, but neither do our opponents. And I think that's how Lair comes about most of the time. So this time it's banned out rather early. We're going to Nighthaven instead, also a fairly new map, but I'm excited. I'm looking forward to see how this is going to go. And let's look at the predictions. And despite no minis being at the top of the Division 1 at the start of this playday, we only have Raisin who decided to go with that pick. So where do you fall on this, Necris, now that you have all of this information about these two teams? It's a tough call.
I'm gonna stick with no meanies. I'm gonna stick with no meanies. It's nostalgia value for me. I haven't
I
casted
like it.
an NXT game. I have casted a no meanies game, and I guess that makes me a no meanies supporter, at least for this one.
You love what you know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I do not bother with empty bets just to, bring it up. But, whatever. Great. And look at the all chat already. Nice ego. It's a nice thing that people are still talking. I absolutely know nothing about both of these teams and how they interact with each other, but looks like they're pretty talkative. Um, I won't be surprised if they do not ban a single shield operator here. I think both of these teams equally are.
Well, they
As I
proved you
said,
wrong.
I won't be surprised, but at the same time, not surprised either that they banned it. So they're not really pushing the limits here. They're gonna go for one shield ban, and probably it's gonna be a good ban actually, especially on Night Haven. As you said, too many walls, too many places to peek through, and it's just necessary. Last time I think it was no meanies that really exploited this Maverick on this very map, if I'm not wrong, because ridiculously effective, especially in the hands of a good player, and there's no shortage of that in these two teams. So great, and Tubarao, another very very necessary ban on Night Haven. And what is going to be the last one? Do you think?
Ooh, Asami Fenrir? No, Amira. Okay, well,
I
that's
respect it.
that's somewhat unexpected, but at the same time, I can totally understand it because I think on basement, the really long sightlines that you can establish on top floor for the most part, it's just the rafters control that you gain with those mirror windows. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It does make sense to be banning out the mirror, but for the most part, you got to consider both teams play both sides, and just because no mini start on the defense doesn't mean that NXT won't get a chance eventually. But they decide it's not worth the trouble, so they just take out the mirror, make sure that nobody gets to play it. Because I mean, once again, those mirror windows give you quite a decent advantage with those long sightlines. You can swing out from them, and it's very difficult to push onto them. You're basically forced into bringing an Ash or maybe even a Kali, if I dare say so. It is her map, right? You would
Yes.
expect the Night Haven operator or the leader of Night Haven to show up on Night Haven, but with the Mira band, I think we're really not looking at that.
Kind of excited for Nook. I've said this enough times, but at the same time, like, this map is Nook, man. This map is Nook. And, I feel that it's underrated because, no, even if Kali is, like, made for Night Haven, so to say, it is not as effective as Nook probably is on this map. It's ridiculous. Like, I think two maps which I've seen, I don't know, one is weirdly coastline, but at the same time, this map, I feel Nook is insanely effective. It's just a super, very spread out map and longer than it is wider. So, it gives a lot of opportunities for Nook that she wouldn't get in any other map. But nonetheless, we're going to be stuck with a couple of operators which we are very, very familiar with. So that's going to be a Brava, there's going to be a Thatcher, it's going to be a Flores, Thermite, and an Ace. Pretty standard lineup, one to clear the room, one to control the gadgets, one to disable the gadgets, and two to breach. So, pretty stable. At the same time, on the other hand, no meanies. They're going to be going with their own stability lineup, Kaid and Bandit to just wall off a couple of things. And for the most part, it's going to be a pretty, it's a solid defense. In chess terms, I'll say it's like a very nice pawn structure that they're putting up as of now. But it's the differences, it's the trades that really make the game.
Ranker at the moment struggling a little with hacking that default cam. Just decides to completely give up on that. All right. You gotta make sure you don't move that camera when you start hacking on that Brava, because if you go out of range, you're gonna cancel that hacking attempt, and you're just gonna waste your own time. And at the moment, it doesn't really seem like it's panning out for him. Fantasy posted up aggressive with a shotgun, gets caught out unaware by Ranker, who moves himself up the staircase on Aqua, able to find one. Raident is able to find two. with a trade from Rastin to finally shut down Azen. And now we have Diffuser in the hands of the defenders.
Oh.
The problem is they're getting cut down by NXT one after another. NXT, they just find space inside of the building where they're not supposed to be, and they're able to take gunfights onto completely unsuspecting members of No Meanies.
And God, they're clean with it. Like really clean with it. It almost seemed like no meanies are like they've completely got outplayed there. Really taken apart. And I am excited. If this is the kind of game we're gonna be sizing up to, even if this is a grueling 7-5 on either side, it's gonna be quite entertaining.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Well, so far I'm impressed with what NXT have brought out. Still, like, the Monty gets banned up by No Meanies. No blitz from NXT to respond with that, despite the Mira ban. I feel like without the Mira, it's a little easier to try and get closer, because definitely shields do excel in, like, close quarters. They excel in tight corners and small rooms. And if you can get yourself onto rafters with that blitz shield, it can be devastating. However, NXT didn't even really need that. They just found openings. They found like really big gaps in the defense of No Meanies, just waltzed in, and were able to find gunfights that No Meanies themselves wasn't expecting. So far, very impressed with how NXT was able to exploit this first defensive round, but we'll have to wait and see because maybe No Meanies just haven't woken up yet. No, maybe they're just having a bit of the shakes in the first round, and now they'll find their way into it, because they can't allow this to keep happening. Sure, once is fine, but don't allow NXT to just roll you over like that.
You're absolutely right about that. You can't lose defense round on Night Haven. It's almost impossible to do it. But yet again, Ranker starts it off with Denster, and now there are more people just kind of flowing to one side. Like, oh my God, there's an attack, and they just keep running to one side, and it's almost like NXT wants that to happen. People are getting shaken up, and there are multiple approaches. Like the Sledge, he's working one angle. That hatch, he may find someone unawares here, but okay, that's a C4 that's gonna catch Ranker, and there goes the Sledge. But is there a trade available? Yes, there is.
Bomb located.
Azinski finds Rastin. Oh, that took some time actually figuring that one out. But Azinski, he took one, and now it's 4 versus 3. Attackers are in advantage, and they have quite a lot of map control reappearance. And I'm feeling this is so insane. This amount of for today at least, I've not seen this efficiency in attack at all. And they're already showing it like since the first round, and NXT is just showing it off.
The feed does appear to be lagging because it apparently can't keep up with NXT. They're just moving that quickly, it appears. As we've lost some players. It's now a 3v2. 2v2 as Fantasy is able to find Raiden. So got quite a bit of damage dealt on to Shinny as well. And with a minute to go, Fantasy's on a big lurk to try and punish Shinny. The problem is, Shinny's expecting this. He's holding an angle onto this flanker, onto this lurk. And he knows it, and he might just get himself pinched. But Coded doesn't look the right way. Shinny turns around at the right moment, is able to find that one. Now he knows where that last player is, and Janoski should be allowed to walk in and maybe put that diffuser down. The question is, where is the diffuser? Is it in the hands of the attackers? Because at the moment, I think it's just being held. Yeah, Fantasy holds onto it. It's in the window. So they have to go and push him. They're stacking up together. They've got 25 seconds. Can he isolate these fights? He gets one. Can he get the second? He's only got one more to find.
The diffuser. I think he's gotten it. He's going to just sneak over the diffuser. Yeah, he's going to sprint away. There's not enough time, so NXT has to plant, and they will get a plant off for the most part. But
oh, that goo mine!
Oh my God! Oh no! The Thorn's a Thorn in the side, but he has to get the diffuser off. No, he does not. He's not in time. He does not hold it. What? I think the timer freezes, right? It should at least.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He stopped planting. He thought he could get that swing with 0 seconds because he has no confidence in trying to stick it. Pros don't fake. You gotta hold F.
You heard it here first, guys. And they paid for it. They absolutely paid for it. They lost that round. It's 1-1. Meanies barely make it by the skin of their teeth. And like absolutely, I'll say if this is how they're gonna
Locate and
play,
defuse
it's
bomb.
not consistent, and they can't depend on something like this. And if you're struggling so much on defense, I shudder to think what happens on attack. And even right now, they're sizing everything up. Like that was a close one, right? So they're just kind of wiping the sweat from their brow. They're thinking, what should we do to
Oh
not
yeah.
let this happen? Because they have to outmaneuver NXT. There's no other choice. There's no fancy plays you can do. There's no bolo shit you can do. Just jump around
Seconds
somewhere
remaining.
and hope for like multiple headshots with like one peak or something. So
5 seconds left.
either way, they have to make a tactical decision very soon. Because NXT, they don't waste any time really. So what I like about them is that they don't directly storm the site, but they take different floors with an equal pace. I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost as if they have math in their heads as to at what point of time should they be at this particular distance from the site. They never stray too far, neither are they too inside. They're very, very careful as to how far they're going in and how much space they're trying to cover. So, which is why it turns out to be a very efficient trade every time they make it, because every single trade grants them that one more chunk of map that they were so craving, and they're right in the position to capitalize on it. Because usually, when you get a pick off, it's some flanker on this far away side of the map, and you're not really gained an advantage other than a kill. But here, they move so tactically. The way they drone, it's not aggressive, right? They just want information. They do not even go and peek into like some corner just to double check where the person is. They're completely fine with the amount of information they have. And I like this. This is very patient, very methodical play, and it's absolutely unlike anything we have seen in the past matches, or probably, I hazard a guess, in the whole tournament.
I love these yellow pings coming out. The Valkyrie has absolutely no idea. Rastan gets punished, right, and able to find the opening pick. And like you pointed out, that drone work is so good. They do not overextend their drones. They do not get them killed. They still got 7 alive, 6 drones now, but they've been able to get a kill off of 1. And those yellow pings are so crucial. They've gotten so much info by just putting their cams everywhere around the map and just going process of elimination. Well, this room is clear. This part of the map is clear. They can't be here. They can't be there. That means we have to be looking this way. And knowing where to look when you're expecting a gunfight is something that can win you most of the gunfights. As Raiden is able to find a second kill onto a player getting swung from outside on the forklift window. So he's doing good work. He might be low on HP now, but he's definitely gotten his value. Rawa's able to find one. The flank is expected, and Janoski's able to find Denster. Now Rawa is all alone, and he trades himself. A beautiful shot from him, but not quite enough, as there's still some more attackers left. And NXT, once again, every single one of their attack rounds have looked so good, even with the slip-ups that have cost them the second.
God, I'm just thinking, like, if they keep this pace on, this game may not last much longer. And speaking of win streaks being broken, if this game isn't even a bit, like probably if it's one-sided, it's gonna really hurt the losing team quite a lot. To lose in such a way, because both these teams, as I said, undefeated, very, very untouchable. But when someone really breaks you down like this, it's gonna hurt. And in a methodical way, because remember, if they end up facing up again, no matter who wins or who loses, they're gonna be a bit intimidated by the winner. Oh, these guys kicked our ass earlier, and we literally do not have a single solution for them. And they're just running through everybody. So it's quite a weird problem. It's like it's almost like fighting Goliath, You don't know what the hell you're doing, and it's this insurmountable force that you're going through. And they brought out the Scopos, so
Defuse a bomb.
all like no holds barred, right? So you're just really firing on all cylinders. You are making time. You are kind of hoping that you distract them enough or hold them on at bay enough. But I mean, Ranker again on the sledge. I like this sledge pick so much, especially the way he's playing it. He almost plays it like a roamer, and it's
He's got a
insanely
shotgun.
effective. Yeah, it's so good. I love everything about it, the way he's doing it.
And he's
oh,
dead.
But it's a trade. Just look at it's so methodic. They do not lose an inch without taking two, right? Defense, they lose one guy, it's probably one whole side of the map completely gone. You have no information, you've gone dark. And fine, you can check a camera, but at this level, even at this level, you are going to have all your cameras broken. You do not have enough space to just, chill and look at cameras and not expect anything to happen. And this Azami can try as much as he wants, but the warehouse is not going to be easily defended here. It's so difficult. And this corner, Frost, with that gun, he can hold it, but your appearance, in situations like these, it's usually better tactics that win. And I mean, unless he just outpeaks everybody, I don't see no meanies doing much here. Unless there's something we don't know that they're going to do.
At the moment, Radiant making good time once again as he moves himself in, tries to pick that fight with the Frost. A bit of a few bullet traces coming through, but no damage traded just yet. Coded still trying to swing into this. He wants to go aggressive. He has the feeling that there might be a person inside of Electrical. And the swing is about to come through. Both these players clash. Raiden comes out on top once again. Advantage for NXT now as Aizen does go down, but Shini is able to punish Rastan on an overswing. And Rava is knocked as well. It's only down to Denster. He's got a Scopus to work with, but he finds two and immediately gets traded. NXT just have too many players alive in every single late game trade. It is so difficult. No Meanies is winning their gunfights. They are winning consecutive gunfights, and they are still getting outgunned and outpositioned by NXT.
I mean, it's almost like you take a pawn and you lose a rook or something. That's what's happening here. The way NXT is playing, I mean, I have not seen this in a long time. I mean,
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they
these guys just know this map. These guys know this team, and these guys know the game. Frankly, they've not let a single thing slip up. And till now, the round they lost, that was by again, a skin of their teeth, actually. I have to say that whatever they've done till now, at least at my level of play, I do not see a single mistake that I can truly point out, like, at all. It's absolutely immaculate. And plus the way they're choosing these operators, like, we have not seen these lineups before this. We have not seen, like, a Thatcher. So there's one breacher, and you're depending on two soft breachers, and probably, like, a Dokevi, and they're so kill heavy. They do not care about, like, clearing a room or something like that. They know that they're gonna play on trades, and they want operators that enable trading so well. So there's an Osa, there's a Dokevi. These guys, they're just making distractions. All they're looking for is kills. Whoa! That was close.
Alright, one of the Selmas does go off, but it won't be vaultable, so all it is a kill hole for the foreseeable future. Which does mean that they have a way to look into the site and to take some gunfights, but they can't vault through that. They cannot get themselves into the site from there. They will have to try and choose a different location, and Shini goes down to Rawa. This is the first time that no Meanies have not just gotten, oh, well, I was gonna say not just gotten an opening pick, but not have gotten themselves immediately traded, as Janoski's, of course, able to trade Rawa, and now there's a flurry of kills from NXT, who make it a 4v2, a miss from Dempster at a critical moment. And the plant is going down. It's only down to Rust, and he tries to throw a C4. It might even connect in a good spot, but no, Aizen takes him down before it matters. And another really good round from NXT, despite being denied on the main breach.
You never know the next move, man. I mean, no one had any idea these guys are this good. And no one makes no meanies look like this, It's ridiculous. No meanies dominated so many teams. And right now, NXT is making them look like a couple of pub players just, getting into matchmaking solo and doing God knows what. Their IGL is probably like frothing at their mouth, yelling. That he doesn't understand what the hell's going on. It's like every time he's getting outmaneuvered. And yet again, they go with the same thing. So they're switching up to one breacher. And they have like multiple soft breachers. Okay, they're going for the ace here. They're sticking with the Finca. But it's just this insane obsession with pickoffs. They do not care about clearing rooms or breaching and entering or something like that. All they need is a gap to kill through. That, as you said, wasn't a vaultable hole. That was a kill hole. And it seems like they were perfectly fine with it. The A's didn't even try to do more than that. There were not any more breaches. See, again,
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
literally one breacher, a couple of soft breachers, and Dokevi and Fenka. It's just so aggressive. These guys are wired.
Same thing. Why is this wall still soft? No meanies are just gonna allow the wall over here to get opened up again. Inside of the room, whose name I've once again forgotten. I usually know where I can't recall the name.
It's IT, right?
Attackers recover the diffuser.
There's a very
the room you're
specific.
talking about.
It's a map specific name. I will think of it in a
Oh.
moment.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
It's just.
But you know,
like,
actually,
why leave this soft? Animus. It's called Animus. Thank you for stepping into the room, Rawa. And I think there was a drone that went past him. I don't think they're aware of him. He might be able to punish somebody here on an aggressive swing, but he is, of course, being cautious. He can't go out too far. He might just get himself killed. And the moment he gets spotted, he could get caught as well. He has to be very, very certain that he's not exposed to NXT anywhere. And now a phone call comes through, and this is exactly what I mean. He could get himself exposed. Now he has to fall back. And everyone else on Nomini's also thoroughly exposed, which now means NXT knows what they have control of. They know what parts of the map are clear and which ones are not. Denster on a flank, he sees a player at the last possible second, just about survives the engagement with Raiden. He just tucks himself away, makes sure he doesn't get killed by this Dokkaebi. That SMG-12 is scary. Gonna take that fight if you don't have to. And Ranker once again, Sheeny with another. It is NXT to open up, and it is untraded once more. No meanies have no answer for these picks from NXT every single time.
okay, and something to really mention, the Finca held
The
all
plant
the
is going
boosts.
down.
These guys are so focused. They know exactly what's gonna happen. They don't care. They know there's nothing unpredictable. There's
Oh
one
my
round.
God,
It's
what a
ridiculous.
round.
Ridiculous. Absolutely insane. The Finca held 3 boosts, did not use a single one while the Dokkaebi was pinging, and lo and behold, these guys move in, use the boosts at the exact time, clear 2 people, get the plant at the same time while clearing 3 more. It's like these guys have like some prediction model, like some AI algorithm that's predicting everything for them, that they know exactly what to do when and what it's going to do for them. It's just working out, and now they're on defense, and 5-1, one round away from game point. And I'm feeling right now, reappearance, that defense, it's not going to be any different than the offense, because these guys, they insist on playing offensively.
And immediately the Clash pick comes out, which lets me know that NXT are playing ball. They've got a strat lined up here. They know what they're doing. They know what they want to do. They definitely have a lot of forethought going into this operator lineup. Because I think a Clash always has to go into a well-established pick. That, or it's a complete play of desperation, and NXT are up 5-1. We are not playing desperate. We are playing calculated, right? So this is strat work, right?
Yeah.
NXT know this map like the back of their hand. You could tell from their attacks, and you can tell just from the lineup here on defense. They know what they're doing. They've played this map probably so many times. So many more times than anyone else has. Probably inside of, like, the entire Division 1 of EON. These guys are apparently a Nighthaven team, and no meanies are learning this the hard way right now.
Hell to the yes to that, man. I mean, dismantle. If that word could be appropriately used, this situation would perfectly summarize what the hell is happening actually. Like, a Clash, yes, fine, it's on defense, it's like a passive operator, but this guy can zone off a whole side. And there are, as I said, Nighthaven is a longer map than like wider. So you have like a whole corridor where Clash can just hold without any fear of a flank. And even if there is, there's always going to be someone just shadowing you and waiting around the corner to catch the flank. But otherwise, this Clash can hold till Kingdom Come and nothing will happen. This guy will stay. He will keep holding it. Valkyrie goes down. That's a good start for Nominis. But they have to get past this Slash. I don't know how they will do it, but...
Oh,
Yeah?
this... No. What?
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was
the
a good
bandit
pick.
trick was on the wrong wall. He got the right wall. Never mind.
Yeah.
I thought he was too far to the left. No, he got it. That's one exothermic gone. There's one more exothermic to play with, and 2 Selmas left in the pocket of the ace as well, so they could try again here. The problem is just they don't have access to any sort of EMPs. They have to get this from the verts. There we go. Now he's putting it down. The vert is being contested. Raiden has to fall back, but Raiden has wasted so much time. He's killed one of the exothermics, which means the thermite now has nothing left in the pocket. And with only a minute to go, they're just now starting to open up this outside wall into connector, and this clash is absolutely harassing Rastan, forcing him to back off, because otherwise he's going to be stuck there and he's going to get swung aggressively by some of these NXT members. Find themselves sitting pretty. They don't have to do anything here. They can just wait for the clash to feed more info, and then wait for the execute, and just try and counterplay.
Exactly. And this Clash can hold this long connector tunnel, and just like that, look at this, it's insane. This was not supposed to go this way. I think Ranker was supposed to go down to Coded, but he missed the shot, and Clash, he's still holding this entrance, he's still in
Ranker!
IP. He's waiting, and Ranker, my god, this guy's insane. This is ridiculous reappearance. Absolutely mad.
What did Ranker have for breakfast today? We need to feed everyone what Ranker had for breakfast today inside of this league, because my goodness. He is absolutely feeling it. I've no idea what they fed that man, but it's working.
God damn, it is working, man. I mean, I'm in awe of the way NXT is playing. This is, I think, you know, we meme around in a lot of games, but this game, it's tight, man. It's tight as hell. And we're thinking, and no matter what happens, it's always like NXT is like planning. They're never just, you know, they're never on autopilot. They're planning. They're actively playing
They're
the game.
scheming.
Yeah, every single move, it's thought out. If you move an inch, it's for a reason. If you peek this window, it's for a reason. It's not that 50-50 trade that you think, you know what, maybe I'll get someone. No, there's no maybes here. NXT does not function on maybes. These guys are absolute monsters, and they're on game point right now. They're probably gonna bloody take it. And this could be
10 seconds left.
Could be a very fast game. No, Meanie's looking a little helpless. I'm somewhat confused on just how much NXT have been able to overwhelm them, but I do definitely think that it comes back down to the map pick in a certain regard, but also just to the prep work of NXT. NXT seem like a well-oiled machine. They seem like they're not in autopilot mode. They are actively working for every single thing that they do, but everything has a routine. It doesn't feel like they get surprised by anything. They calculate and they can anticipate every single situation. They have prepped for every possible encounter, and they have the perfect counterplay. At the moment, no meanies, they're trying their best with their guns, and they've got really good firepower on their team. But even that is not enough to try and counter this out. The only round they've won was a big clutch by Fantasy, and even that one was shaky at best. It was playing the clock. It was a lucky circumstance of having the diffuser. So we might be looking at a fairly quick 7-1 here. Means my prediction might be right, as I do also think I am alone for a bit. We have lost my co-caster Necros, so I will be guiding you through the rest of this round. Hopefully he comes back soon, but in the meantime, we've got Rastan inside of the building trying to make good pace similar to NXT, but the pressure is on. They've got match point staring them down. They have to win 5 in a row if they want to make this competitive, otherwise NXT take a full 3 points and hand No Meanies their first defeat inside of this league, while keeping themselves on a flawless streak. They would go up 4-0, they would take the position that No Meanies currently hold, and they would most likely jump them because of the round difference. Oh, Rastan. Again, he's still working his way around, he's got some drone work going in. The question is, how much time are No Meanies allowed to waste, because it looks like NXT are ready for this. NXT calculated, they are falling back from positions, they are not handing any gunfights over to No Meanies. So this will have to be an aggressive push. Here comes some Candelas. Aizen does go down. Rastan's able to find one as Coded finds the first. And that is a quick 5v3. 5v2 as Fantasy is able to find another. No Meanies might just be able to stay alive for a bit longer as the diffuser is going down, but they have to fall off of it because of the vert play. Radiant is able to delay the inevitable as Raba will attempt a plant in a different location. He's down to low HP, but I don't think anyone's in position to try and counter this. Plant goes down. Now they have to play a post plant. 5v1. All down to Shinny. And he's fighting against windmills here. There's not much he can do. He finds the first onto Denster. But how much more can he realistically get? He's got 20 seconds to try and get onto this diffuse. It does take 7 seconds for him to do it as well. And Fantasy shuts him down. Won't be a flawless, as he does find himself one before getting taken down. But at least it is a confident round and a very good execute for the side of No Meanies to keep themselves alive here for one more. I'm wondering if the Blitz is going to come out at any point. I feel like that's something that we could still expect to see out of No Meanies, because I feel like at this point it's more of a desperation play, but we certainly are at the level of desperation for No Meanies, just off of the scoreline alone. They've been fighting well, and once again, in terms of gunfights, they really do have the capability, and this time around they were able to box in No Meanies, or NXT rather, to a decent extent, able to execute properly. They found the utility at the right time to throw out. The problem is, can they consistently do this? Because so far, NXT, they've looked good on both sides. They've looked good on top floor. The moment they're allowed to go back up there, No Meanies will most likely have to contend with this clash again. At least for now, they are spared from this fate, as there's a second attempt coming in on basement. And it looks like a lot of importance is being placed on electrification and on wall denial. We've got a mute, we've got a bandit, we've got a Kaid. We're really making sure that these walls stay closed. And with that, Rucker, he's peeking outside the building. He's ready for another fight. Raiden is running out as well. These NXT players are fired up. They are ready. They want to end this game as fast as possible. But at the same time, they're not overcommitting. Raiden isn't in spawn. He swings outside, he sees a player, he sees some bullet tracers, he's like, okay, this maybe doesn't favor me, and he pulls back. This is good composure from NXT despite being aggressive. This is not over-aggression, this is just confidence at the moment. I'm waiting to eat my own words because the caster curse usually is real, but so far, Ranker just on top floor. Able to keep this one running. Now a phone call comes in, Shinny immediately on a mute jammer, everyone else will give their position away at least for a bit, but Ranker's allowed to rotate all the way back to site, he's not punished. He walks himself into a mute jammer, comes back up the stairs to go for a bit of a re-peek as well. He's ready for these gunfights, but No Meanies isn't even up on the pace, they're not even ready for this, they're still expecting a player inside of kitchen, they are slow clearing all of this. About half the round is going to be gone in just a second, and they are still unaware of kitchen. They have no info over there.
Tracker on Ost.
Genie down below. Got C4 still in pocket. There is a bunch of C4s in the pocket of NXT actually. They've got 4 ready and waiting to punish any unsuspecting, any poor sap that decides to step on the wrong soft floor at the wrong time. You can see the pre-rip from Raiden. You can see Aizen is ready for it. He's looking at the ceiling as well. They're waiting for info. At the moment, nothing being given over as No Meanies is playing this vert very, very passively and very, very slow. They want to make sure they don't get C4'd. But now comes more pressure. He can hear the steps. Here it comes. This might connect onto 2, and it does! Raiden is able to find a double kill. And this might just seal the deal for NXT as the diffuser goes down. A C4 double kill. Another C4 comes out, barely misses. The side of Coded, who just watches it, turns around for it, and watches life flash before his eyes as very nearly he could have been taken out as well. Aguman gives away the sneak from Rawa. He will have to go into the swing, slow walking. Ranker able to punish him. Coded finds one, but Danster immediately shuts him down. Janoski with 2, and NXT able to completely stomp their opponents into the ground. No Meanies take their first loss, and they are no longer at the top, as NXT is now vying for the spot, trying to catch up and staying right behind their opponents. We've got Besiktas in first now at the end of today, and unexpectedly so, we've got NXT in second. Now, I did lose my co-caster for a bit. Necros is back in, but you're just going to be with me here. It's the end of the day. I'm just going to be signing off, and what a game to finish it on. I am so surprised by how convicted NXT looked on their Night Haven. But with that being said, that was it for today for the first division. Do make sure to come back on Saturday. We have another stream there for one of the other divisions. So there will be more games for EON coming up this week. And of course, as usual, it happens same time every week. So if you want to be here for more Division 1 gameplay, if you want to see NXT again, if you want to see Besiktas, make sure to be here next week on Thursday as well. That's all from me. That's all from Necros in the background. I'm sure he will agree
I'm a
that
faceless voice. I'm
you-
right
you
here.
hopefully have a good day. And with that, I'll be signing off. And that's it from Eon. Have a good night. And may your games be blessed like NXT's.